Hi guys, Mrs. B here. Here is your lesson for Friday, May 1st. Today we're going to talk about closing costs when you purchase a home. So typically when you buy a home, you get the mortgage from the bank, which includes interests, but there's also costs that go into purchasing your home. Okay, there's a lot of things that have to be done. You have to pay for inspection, taxes, fees, lawyer fees. It's not an easy thing. So we have to calculate those costs sometimes into our mortgage because sometimes we can't afford to pay them. So it gets included in your mortgage loan, which, again, we've talked about, you pay over a certain amount of years. So today we're going to calculate the closing costs, and we're going to calculate the actual amount financed with the mortgage. So we're going to basically add up the closing costs and include it in our mortgage. So, closing costs. At the time you sign the documents transferring ownership of the home to you, the lender charges closing costs. So the bank charges closing costs. Closing costs may include fees for lawyers, credit checks, title searches, surveys, taxes, and preparation of the documents. Some lenders charge a flat fee regardless of the amount of the loan. Some lenders charge a percentage of the amount of the loan. Other lenders charge itemized fees at the closing. So it's all different depending on what bank or lender that you choose. So closing costs are very simple. It's simply the sum of the bank fees. Okay, remember, sum means addition. So it's just adding up all the bank fees and including them in your mortgage, adding them onto your mortgage amount. So, for example, a lot of this is going to be repetitive from the last couple days, okay? So it's a good recap of how to find a down payment, how to calculate the mortgage, and other things, okay? So Ralph and Christy have been granted a mortgage loan. The home has a selling price of $175,000, and they need a 20% down payment. So we know how to do this already. The bank will allow them to finance closing costs as a part of their mortgage. So what it's saying is the bank will allow them to include the closing costs into their mortgage. The total closing costs are 3.5% of the mortgage. Okay? So it says find the down payment. All right, we know the down payment is the cost of the home times the percentage. We did this in the last two lessons already. Okay, so the cost of the home is $175,000 times our percentage as a decimal. So 20% as a decimal is 0.20. Remember, move the decimal place two places over. So 175,000 times 0.20 gives us $35,000. That's your down payment. That's the amount of money that they have to give towards the cost of the house. So in order to find the mortgage, or the amount of money they're going to borrow from the bank, we need to take what the house is selling for and subtract our down payment. So we know how much we need to borrow. We get $140,000. This is what we're borrowing from the bank. We're asking the bank, can you loan us $140,000? Okay? So, sorry, that should go here. We found the down payment here. Okay, the mortgage was here. This is the amount we're borrowing from the bank. So 3 says find the closing costs. Well, it said here the closing costs are 3.5% of the mortgage. So 3.5% of the mortgage. Well, the mortgage is $140,000. So we take the mortgage, which is $140,000, and we multiply by the percentage as a decimal. So 3.5% as a decimal equals 0.035. Remember, we're moving the decimal place over 2 places. 1, 2. And we add a 0. Okay? So times 0.035 equals $4,900. That's how much you're going to pay in closing costs. Okay, this is the closing cost. Now, 4 says find the actual amount financed. We're going to include that in our mortgage. So this is really simple. The actual amount financed is just adding these two things together. $140,000 plus $4,900. So $140,000 plus $4,900 equals $144,900. So this is what you're asking the bank for. Okay, that's the amount you're going to take out for your loan. Alright, one more problem and that'll be it for today, guys. So Barry and Ella have agreed to purchase a house for $96,500. They need to make a $10,000 down payment. The total closing costs are 3.25% of the amount of the mortgage loan. So 1, find the down payment. Well, what's really nice is it doesn't give it to us as a percentage here. It tells us the down payment is $10,000. That's all we have to do. This one's a little bit easier. 2 is find the amount of the mortgage. Okay, well, the mortgage amount is going to equal the amount the house is selling for, which is $96,500, minus our down payment. Okay, the mortgage amount, remember, is the amount we're asking the bank for a loan for. Okay, so $96,500 minus $10,000 is going to be $86,500. This is what we're asking the bank to borrow. Find the closing costs. Okay, the closing costs are 3.25% of the mortgage. So remember, I need this. I'm taking the mortgage and I'm multiplying it by my percentage. But I need my percentage as a decimal. So my percent as a decimal is 2 decimal places over. 1, 2. So it's really 0.0325. That's what I'm multiplying by. 0.0325 equals. When you multiply those two things together, you get $2,811.25. Okay, that's the closing costs. I'll put closing costs here. And finally, we want the actual amount financed. So the total amount that we are going to ask the bank, we're going to borrow from the bank. And remember, it's as simple as just adding these two numbers together. So the actual amount financed is $86,500 plus $2,811.25. And when you add those things together, you get $89,311.25. This is the amount the bank is going to give us a loan for. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Please take a look at the assignment, try your best, and I hope to see you guys soon.